Hi everyone, I thought I'd make a video seeing as June is Scoliosis Awareness Month, and also I'm now 10 years post my scoliosis surgery, which I can't quite believe, but I thought I'd make a video just about how I'm doing now 10 years post surgery. I know that people who are maybe waiting for the surgery or in the early stages of recovery may be interested to know what life is like 10 years on from the surgery. I know I was at the time, so yeah, I thought I'd do a video just to sort of share how I'm doing now. So just first, before I go into that, just a little bit of background about scoliosis for people who might not know what it is. Scoliosis is where the spine curves and twists typically to the side. In my case, I had a double S curve, which means I had two curves in my spine, one at the top of the spine, thoracic curve, and then a lumbar curve as well, so it was kind of in the shape of an S. And yeah, at the time of surgery it measured around 82 degrees, which is considered pretty severe. I think anything over 50 degrees, as they measure curves as what they call cob angles, is considered a case for surgery. So mine was quite severe, really. And then yeah, at the time of surgery I was fused from T3 to L3, which is pretty much the whole spine, apart from 3 discs I think at the bottom. But yeah, after surgery I still have a curve there, so I'll always have scoliosis, although the surgery did reduce it down a significant amount. The level of correction that can be achieved depends on many factors really, including where the curve is and how big the curve is, and also how flexible the spine is as well. I think generally the younger you are when you have the curve corrected, the more flexible the spine is in many cases. But in my case I was a lot older than many people are when they have the scoliosis surgery. I was 24. My curve was fairly large as well, so it was quite stiff. So I think the surgeon did a really good job because reduced it by a huge amount. So I was happy with the outcome. And after surgery I also even grew a couple of inches, which was pretty cool. So yeah, a bit about the recovery. There's a lot I can say about the recovery. It'll probably be more of a separate video, but the recovery was very tough. I think it was probably the toughest thing that I've ever been through in my life. It took me, I would say, a good year to recover fully, and even then I wasn't 100% back to normal. I was very I was on a lot of painkillers for, I'd probably say, about 6 months or so. I had to wear a brace for about 3 months or so, and yeah, it was a difficult thing to go through. There were points during the recovery where I wondered if I'd ever be able to get back to doing the things that I did before surgery, such as going to the gym and things like that. It was a struggle. Straight after surgery, you've got to learn how to do things again that you took for granted before. So just sitting up in bed, having a shower, walking down the stairs, things like that are more of a struggle after surgery, and you just have to get used to doing those things again. But yeah, 10 years on now, I'm 10 years post-surgery. I just thought I'd share some of the things that I've been able to do following my recovery, hopefully to sort of inspire and reassure people that maybe waiting for the surgery or are in the early stages of recovery, that things do get better eventually, and you can get back to a normal life. So yeah, before my surgery I was fairly active. I used to go to the gym several times a week. I used to go swimming mainly to help with the sort of pain and muscle spasms that I used to have before surgery, but I didn't do anything like extreme because I was worried about putting unnecessary strain on my back. I was worried about what I could and couldn't do. I didn't want to cause myself any damage really, so I avoided quite a lot of activities that I probably could have done and should have done because I was worried about what impact it would have on my back. So things like things that might have been beneficial for me, like building strength in my back, I always avoided the machines at the gym because I didn't want to hurt myself. I avoided the weights, I avoided group classes a lot of the time. So I think there's probably things that I could have done but I didn't before my surgery. But yeah, since my surgery I've been kind of pushing myself more. I don't know if it's now because I appreciate all the things that I can do, and I want to see that I can do as much as I can, see what I can do. But yeah, I think I've achieved quite a lot, and I'm really quite proud of what I've achieved. The first thing is running. So I've never really, before my surgery, I never ran again because I was, worried about the impact on my back and my spine. I didn't want to cause any damage. I thought I'd be in a lot of pain if I started running. But then after I had fully recovered, it was about, I'd say 5 years after my surgery, something like that. A friend of mine asked me to join her on she was doing a Race for Life for charity, a 10k, and I thought to myself, why not? I've never ran before, but I really felt like I wanted to push myself and see what I could do. So I decided to go for it, and I started training for it. I started running just mainly on the treadmill at the gym, and I managed to complete the training. I think I did it in about 6 weeks or so, and I ran the race, and I was slow at the time, but I did it, since then it gave me a bit of a sort of a high after that race, and I got quite addicted to that feeling, and since then I never looked back. This year I was meant to be running my first marathon, so I've built up to that sort of level now, I managed to do a 20-mile run earlier this year in preparation for the marathon. I got up to the stage of 20 miles, and then the marathon was postponed due to the pandemic that we're in at the moment. So I'm hoping to do it next year. A couple of years ago as well, I joined a run club, which has been one of the best things that I've ever done, really. I've met so many inspiring people and done so many things that I never thought I'd be able to do. I've done now 6 half marathons, and one of them was up a mountain in Wales, which was a massive achievement for me. It was really hard work, but it was amazing. Once I finished it, it was such a good achievement. And last year a highlight was completing the Great North Run in Newcastle, which is a half marathon. That's one of the biggest races that you can do aside from the London Marathon, and it's just an experience that I'll never forget. I also, as well as running, I enjoy hiking. I climbed Mount Snowdon in Wales about 1.5 years after my surgery, and then since then I've climbed many more mountains. Last year I did the 3 Peak Challenge for charity and climbed Mount Snowdon, Ben Nevis and Scafell Pike in 24 hours, which was again a massive achievement. I've done lots of other 10k races, 5k races, and even a Tough Mudder, and I've got quite a good collection now of medals. And another thing as well is one thing that I've got into post surgery is park run. Park Run is a free weekly timed 5k that happens all over the world on a Saturday morning, and I started doing that when I first started to get into running, and I've just kind of got addicted to it. So I've done over 60 park runs now, and I'm trying to get to 100. But the pandemic has had obviously had an impact on that, and all the park runs at the moment are cancelled. But when they start getting going again, then I'm hoping to get to 100. But yeah, I just love park run. It's taken me around the world. I've seen some different places. I've got into what they call park run tourism. So you go around to different park runs around the world. I've been to Poland, Jersey, Isle of Man, Berlin, and there's many more that I'd like to try when we can. And I've met so many amazing people. I could do a whole video on park run, so I might do future videos on my park run adventures. But now, 10 years on, I'm very active. I dedicate a lot of my time and energy now, pushing myself, and also trying to, raise money and awareness for scoliosis in the process. So I've been trying to do as many challenges as I can to push myself, but also in the process raise money for scoliosis. So a few years ago, I did a 10-day trek on the Great Wall of China, which was absolutely amazing. Such an amazing experience. Massively out of my comfort zone, because I went there on my own. It was part of a group tour, but I went on my own, and it was quite scary. But again, I met some amazing people. All of them were very inspiring. They were all raising money for charities that were close to their own hearts, and it was just an incredible experience that I will never forget. And I raised over £1,000 for the Scoliosis Campaign Fund. And also the trek itself was very challenging, and again something that before the surgery I never thought I'd be able to do post-surgery. So I was really proud of that. And then this year I was meant to be going to Machu Picchu for a trek again to raise money for the Scoliosis Campaign Fund, but again due to the pandemic that's been postponed to next year. I did in the process of trying to raise money for that during lockdown, I completed a 2.6 challenge where I ran 2.6 miles every day for 26 days during lockdown to try and raise more money for the Scoliosis Campaign Fund, and also continue to push myself as well during lockdown. As you can see, I'm very active, very dedicated, and determined, and I've done a lot of things that I never thought I'd be able to do post-surgery. In terms of pain and general feelings post-surgery, I don't get too much pain now. In all the things that I've done in terms of marathon training, 3-peak challenge, hiking up mountains, I get pain after those things and sometimes during those activities, but surprisingly it's never my back. It's always my legs or other areas like my feet that are hurting afterwards, and I'm surprised that my back doesn't really hurt. I do get days sometimes where my lower back is a bit achy, especially after a long run, but it's nothing that's can't be soothed by a hot bath or a sit down. It's not, I don't take any painkillers or anything like that. Whereas before the surgery, I was in a lot more pain in terms of, mainly muscle spasms around the lumbar curve. And, nothing really helped with those. Like, I went for massages, I had acupuncture, I did a lot of swimming. I tried all sorts of things, but nothing got rid of them apart from the surgery. So now it is a lot better. I think the main issue, rather than pain, it's mainly just sometimes you can be a bit uncomfortable just in general, which was the same before surgery anyway, you know, just general feelings of not being able to get comfy all the time. I do get numbness as well in one of my legs, but I don't think that I've had tests on that recently, and they don't know what the cause is of that. They don't think it's related to my scoliosis. So at the moment I'm not sure about that, but that's the only thing that I get, but it doesn't stop me from doing anything at all. But I had numbness before my surgery anyway. Scoliosis, you know, the curving of the spine can press on nerves and cause all sorts of nerve sensations in the body, tingling and sharp nerve pains and all sorts. That's the case for me pre and post surgery, so I'm not too concerned about that. I've had lots of tests and they're not concerned that that's anything bad. So yeah, also my back in general and my scar. In terms of my scar, you can't really see it now, which is a bit disappointing because it's quite cool. But yeah, it's kind of faded a lot now, so it's just, yeah, you can hardly see it. And my back itself, I think, you know, it's never going to look 100% normal, because my spine is still not straight. But I've kind of, you know, over the years, I've just come to accept that and be okay with that. It's taken me a long time, but, you know, finally I think I'm at the point where, you know, I'm proud of my back and how it looks, and, you know, people with scoliosis should be proud and shouldn't be ashamed, even though, you know, when I was a teenager, I may have felt that way, but now, you know, I'm glad that I've been through what I've been through, and I'm proud of my scoliosis because I think it's made me the determined person that I am today in terms of all the things that I do, and you know, how I push myself, because going through the surgery makes you a strong person, and just generally how I feel now 10 years on. I do feel happier than I was before the surgery. Before I was in more pain, I was worried about progression and the future in general and what I'd be able to do, which is another reason why I now blog about my life with scoliosis, to try and reassure people that there is life after the surgery. You can do things that you thought you might not be able to. I may need surgery in the future, you know, and I do have the issues with the nerves and the numbness, but at the moment I just try to, you know, do as much as I can while I can and live my life to the full, really. So yeah, so if you've got any questions for me, and you know, scoliosis in general, then please feel free to ask me in the comments or email me on louise@lifewithscoliosis.com. I'm planning to create more videos about my life with scoliosis, so feel free to subscribe, or visit my website, which is www.lifewithscoliosis.com, or you can follow me on Instagram, which is @missluby_runs, to keep up with all my challenges and fundraising for scoliosis and adventures. So yeah, that's just a little bit about, you know, how I'm doing now 10 years on. So I hope you enjoyed it. So I hope it helps somebody out there. And yeah, so I'll go and I'll say bye for now.